Hi guys, so today's topic is a rough topic. It's one that a lot of people don't really like to discuss, but it is necessary to discuss. And that is, how do you pay for school? I have a previous bachelor's degree, so that essentially kind of prohibits, I don't want to say prohibits, that's not the right word. It changes my ability to receive any kind of financial aid. I want to avoid loans as much as possible. I always have. Loans aren't really something that I like to kind of think about, mess with. Loans are totally fine. Loans, if those are your route, that's your route. They're there if you need them, and honestly, like, I am open to them. But for me, I would much prefer not having to do that route. So with that being said, I'm trying not to take out any loans. I don't have any help from any kind of government programs or anything like that. I don't get any financial aid. So I pay for school from my own pocket. And that can be incredibly expensive, especially depending on if you're an in-state, out-of-state, where you're going, stuff like that. So I thought I would let you guys know how I pay for my schooling. So leading up to school, I got accepted into my nursing program, I would say about June of last year, and my start date wasn't until winter, which was January 3rd. So that gave me a good 6 months of knowing you have 6 months to kind of get your ish together, pay what you need to pay, set aside what you need to set aside. I set this crazy goal for myself, which is another thing. Be realistic with your goals, because when I told myself you're gonna set aside $20,000, that did not happen. I'm nowhere near that much. But yeah, just kind of keep in mind how long you have until your program starts. Kind of start thinking about what you're gonna do, your game plan. Some people do have jobs through nursing school and they keep their jobs. I know someone who works nights while going to nursing school, and praise her, she is amazing. I don't think I could do it because I feel like half the time I'm literally hanging on by a thread, and just, I don't know how people can work and do this, like have an actual set schedule. They are amazing. Those are people that I wish I could be like. But I personally do not work. Well, I guess I kind of do, but not really. I had to give up my job because my job was, 5 or 6 days a week, and I was working 12 to 14-hour days. I did traveling for my job, so I would be gone for at least, at a minimum, like 5 days at a time, and then come back for like a day. So I kind of had this idea of, I'm going to start setting money aside, and I was a little I did kind of okay with that. I didn't put as much, obviously, as I want to. 20,000 was a crazy goal, but I did put some money aside because I am a firm believer, and if you take away one thing from this video, it's kind of give yourself a little bit of room for a backup plan or some kind of idea of what you're gonna do, because I have had times where I made all my payments and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no money, and then all of a sudden I have something I need to pay for, and I wasn't, like, it just comes up out of nowhere, like a parking expense for school. You have to pay your parking, which for my school it was, I think, $81 to park for, the spring quarter. And I wasn't really preparing to pay that, but I had to. And so thankfully I do have like a backup fund. I put money aside. I have 2 different places that I put money aside. I have my savings account, which I have pulled from quite a bit recently. Not my favorite thing, and I really try not to do that. But it's slowly grown back up. And I also have a separate cash kind of fund, if you will. It's some cash that I set aside. It's in a box, hidden away. But it's money that I literally don't see, I don't look at, so to me, it's not there. And it's kind of been a habit I've always had, is I always put money aside. That way, if crap hits the fan and I drain my savings and I absolutely need something right here, right now, I do have a fat stack of cash. It's not that fat, it's actually pretty thin, but a stack of cash that can help me for those unthought of expenses. But yeah, so let's get started. My first thing, I have a little bit of a list on my phone. My first thing I started doing wasn't technically my favorite thing, because I am a big Red Cross supporter. I love the American Red Cross. I donate blood, plasma. I actually kind of jumped from Red Cross for a little bit, and I signed up at my local plasma donation center, and I donated my plasma twice a week for, I think, about 4 weeks before I had a very interesting reaction after the fact. I was fine during the donation because I donate, blood and plasma, and I've done like a Power Red donation where you do the 2 red cell units. So like, I'm good with donating, I'm fine with needles, I'm good with donating, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. The only thing that like gets me is a little finger prick. I'm like, woo! But besides the finger prick, I'm fine. So when I did plasma, I was like, this is nothing. Like, I've been hooked up to a bed for like 2 hours doing platelets. I think I'm okay for 40 minutes doing plasma. And I was, except after the fact, I had a little bit of a reaction, and I think it's because I kind of did it a little too much within a short time frame, and my body was just kind of like, whoa, because I don't eat meat, so how high can my plasma proteins really be? But yeah, I passed the test to do it every time, so I figured it'd be okay. But I'm so glad that I was able to do it and help out, because I know that that stuff is used and I know that it is needed. So I was glad I was able to do that, but I am back at the American Red Cross. I don't really see myself donating plasma too much in the future. Maybe, I don't know. I'm open to it. I still have the app. I still check in on it. But yeah, I'm back at the Red Cross because, I don't know, I'd rather do it for free. I have strong ties to the Red Cross. I love the American Red Cross. So, yeah, my first tip is, if you are in a bunch, you can donate plasma depending on where you are. Plasma centers typically pay, because it's, as long as it's not transfused straight to a person and it's actually taken apart into its different components like plasma is, you can get paid for it. If you donate blood, it's a different story. So if you donate plasma, you can make a little extra change. They usually put it, well, where I'm at, they put it on a prepaid card, and they actually updated it since, because I used to do it and then I did it again recently. They updated it where you can actually pull up the local ATMs that don't charge a fee for the card they give you, which was really nice, because then you could literally pop into the ATM and pull out cash of the money you just got. And it was immediate too, so that was awesome. Like, I literally left the center, and then on my way home, I just stopped at this ATM inside a 7-Eleven and pulled out the cash. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Let's speed things up. Okay, so donate plasma. It's a great opportunity. It helps people in the end, and you can know that, you're making a difference. Second one, sell your old stuff. I have so much stuff that's just like, I literally put away in a closet and I don't think about. Sell it, get rid of it. I'm never gonna use it. I don't know why it's sitting in a closet. I'm like, I don't even like that anymore, or that doesn't fit me anymore. Let's not, think about the past of like, maybe one day I'll be back down to a size 2. I don't see that day anytime soon, and when that day comes, I don't think I'm gonna wear my old stuff. I think I'm gonna actually get new stuff. So, get rid of your old stuff. Stuff you're not using, stuff you don't wear, stuff you don't use. Sell it. Local marketplaces are great for that. And another thing is, I am such a couponing fiend. I have a box. It's a Dior box. Ooh, I'm so bougie. It came for free with my cheap purchase, don't worry. But I put gift cards in here that I have because I don't keep them in my wallet. But I have this thing where I have 12 envelopes, and they are each month. I have March, April, May, all through the year. And in each one I put the coupons that are expiring that month. So if I open up March, I have some like Fred Meyer coupons, I have an Ulta coupon for $5 off, so I make sure I use those and I check in there. I try to use the old ones first, that's why I have the envelopes. And then I also just have basic of like coupons that don't have expiration dates. I'm sure they do expire. And you know, like vouchers for like a couple free meals, I have a free pizza. So like if times get tough, I know I have a free pizza that Sorry, my battery died. Anyways, we're back. Yeah, so where I left off, I have a coupon box, keep all my coupons in there. I am such a sucker for buying anything that is not full price. If there's a coupon, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna use it. Save the money while you can. But yeah, so the next thing is when you buy something, really think about, do you need it? What do you need it for? And basically, I kind of think of stuff in terms of money. So if something is, you know, $30, I'm like, that's, you know, a third of $100, which I could really use $100 coming up for something. So just kind of think of it as, you know, what you're gonna have to do to make that money to pay off what you just spent. Because money, I was always raised with the idea that money is just money. You can always make more, but when you have things in your life like school, you can't always make more so easily. So I kind of try and think of stuff like that. And especially, you know, like, do you need it? Like, my couches have pillows. Yeah, maybe, you know, some of them are a little worn out, a little last season, and I really want new ones, but do I need them? No, I don't. So I'm gonna hold off on the pillows, unfortunately. But yeah, just kind of think to yourself, like, how much do you really need it? And, you know, basically, is it a necessity right now? And then the next thing is there are a lot of community groups. I found like a couple Facebook groups that are kind of local to my area, and people kind of put on their stuff that they need help with. I have mowed a couple lawns for people. I met a couple nice people that were really basically elderly and weren't really able to take care of their stuff themselves, and they said, I have everything you need. I have a lawnmower, I have all that stuff, I just can't get out and do it. So, and they said, I don't need someone to come, you know, weekly or monthly. I just need someone this one time, just please come. And I told them, I was like, yeah, I can do that. And then I think they offered to pay me like $10. I'm like, I mean, that's fine with me. Like, you know, that's $10. But I do advise you, be careful with that. There are some weirdos out there. I was actually talking to my classmates because another thing I found in a group was dog sitting, which I can't have any animals in my apartment, but I can go to someone else's house and take care of their puppies because I love dogs. I absolutely adore dogs and I want dogs, but I just can't have any. So because of where I live, and yeah, so I am more than willing to go and help out other people when they're out of town and take care of their pups. And I've met some great people doing that, and they, you know, they pay obviously different based on what their dogs need and stuff like that. And the people that I found, I thought it was just dogs. It turns out they have 2 dogs, 8 cats, 5 chickens, and a duck. So it's a lot more work, and so they pay very, very well. I love it, and yeah, I get to go play with dogs and get paid for that. And they have me stay at their house while they're gone, so, you know, when I'm out there, I just kind of study and hang out with some dogs. But yeah, definitely look in community groups. Sometimes people just need little things. Sometimes people also post that they're looking for something that you might have that you can give up. I've seen that where people say like, oh, I'm looking for, you know, like a chair that's like this kind of color, and if you've got extra stuff laying around, like, you might as well get rid of it. But yeah, but I do caution you, be careful with those community groups because some people aren't so nice. But yeah, and my last thing is, I don't work, but in a way, I guess I do. There's a lot of side things that you can do for kind of like an idea of like an employment, like self-employed. If you can make stuff, oh my gosh, power to you, make stuff. I cannot, I am not creative. My fiance has a 3D printer, so he's kind of doing that kind of a thing. I don't know how to work that. I'm not gonna touch it. But what I can do is I do have a car. On my spare time, I used to be so ashamed to say I did this, and now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm hustling and I make decent money, which has really freaking helped me. DoorDash. It's not the best of business, not the most fun, but you know, it pays the bills quite literally. The only thing to keep in mind is they don't take out taxes, so when tax season comes, you need to pay back the taxes that they should have been taking out the whole time. So kind of, you definitely want to set money aside for that. I think we kind of did the math, my fiance and I, and forgot how much. We figured out how much, like per $500 you make, you're gonna owe this much. But I am currently on spring break, and sorry, I have so much energy right now. I'm like ready to go, so I keep moving. I'm currently on spring break, so I have all the time in the world. My fiance is working, you know, Monday through Friday, occasional Saturdays. So I'm like, what am I gonna do all day? I have been doing DoorDash, and I think last week I did it for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that was 4 days, and I made $500. I mean, it's not the best income, but it's not the worst income, and it is income. And you know, you do it at your own pace, your own time. If you have time, you can do it. If you don't, you don't. There's no set schedule. So I really like that. But yeah, and it's really popular around where I am. So a lot of people are ordering. So it's usually busy quite a lot. I know sometimes it varies on if you can do it based on how busy it is. But yeah, it's usually pretty busy, especially at nighttime, which as much as I don't really want to do it at nighttime, I mean, I like to get my start before it gets dark, and then by the time it gets dark, I kind of keep in mind of like how much longer I'm gonna do this. But yeah, I kind of set a goal for myself for spring break, because I am staying home this spring break. I'm not going anywhere. All my trips are next month. Oh, have a lot of stuff going on. So while I'm home, I'm like, what am I gonna do besides clean my apartment over and over again? Oh, I can, you know, DoorDash and make some extra money, and it's definitely helping because let me tell you, school is expensive. School is expensive, and then you have life expenses, rent, you have all that stuff that you have to pay as well. So yeah, it's been helping me a lot. But yeah, those are currently how I am making money to pay for my nursing school. Donating plasma, DoorDash, get rid of stuff you don't need, sell your stuff. I have so much like random stuff that like I get for decor, and then I'm like, why did I even get that? And a lot of stuff is like, I could literally sell it for like a couple bucks, but like if I can sell it, let's sell it, because I have a habit of if I don't have it out on the counter or if I don't have it out displayed, I'm gonna put it in a closet somewhere and it's just gonna sit in that closet, and I don't wanna hold on to stuff like that. So I think I got that from my mom, because my mom also is a very, she doesn't like holding on to stuff and like keeping it hidden. So yeah, she likes to get rid of stuff a lot too. But yeah, so get rid of your old stuff, especially stuff that you don't wear anymore. Like be realistic with yourself. Yeah, maybe that outfit was cute like 3 years ago. If you're never gonna wear it again, it's not in style now, and you don't have any kind of like attachment to it, just get rid of it, because you can always buy that kind of stuff again in the future if you find yourself missing it or you find yourself wanting it. And yeah, when you buy stuff, think about how much you really need it. Keep your expenses in mind. Kind of don't go in thinking like I can just make the money back. You know, if it's something like a concert or something that I'm like, I'm a little lenient on, I can pay for that kind of stuff right away. But if it's stuff like, you know, home decor, I don't need to decorate my house right now, that can wait. And you know, community groups can be a good reference, kind of show you some stuff in your area. A lot of people post on there places that are hiring, or you know, like one-time jobs, house cleaning, yard cleaning, landscape, dog sitting is great, pet sitting, cat sitting. And then yeah, make sure you have some kind of just something set aside, because you're gonna have those expenses that come up that you weren't waiting for, and it's gonna kind of throw you off. But if you have that money aside, you're gonna feel so much better paying, especially when it's a large amount. I just applied to a program, and the application fee was $350. That was not an expense I planned for. I knew there'd be an application fee, but that's a big one. So I'm glad I had money set aside so that way when I paid for it, I was able to pay for it as if it doesn't affect anything. But yeah, that is basically how I have been doing it. So hopefully this helps, and I'll see you next time. Bye.